Good morning, Rabbi Sai. There's more Siyum coming in. Cleveland Siyum, Moed Cotton. There's something with the Brooklyn Siyum. I don't know. I got a picture, then I didn't get it. Today I was supposed to get it. I didn't see it. Okay. Tomorrow, Beis Hashem, I'm going to put it up right here. It's going to be during the entire shir. Cleveland Siyum. This one, yesterday I asked, who's this Pliny? He says like this. Pliny's head positively identified. This is the original email. He wants to add one thing. Rav Avadia, aside from peers, was standing in line in the market while others stood waiting. What are thousands doing by substituting Torah for empty distractions during vacations and idle moments? Thank you for changing lives in both worlds. And he says, doing daf poolside on vacation, no days off. Thank you for changing lives. That's the original one. Maybe did this neshama have an Aliyah, nefesh, commitment to Torah, etc. Your Talmud, Max. Okay, now I know it is. Max Akinen. Yes. How do you know? You know Max? Who doesn't know Max? He knows everything. Stanford Hill Siyum, Rabbi Sai, the Stanford Hill Siyum. By Ruben. I've been traveling a lot the last 2 weeks in Baruch Hashem with the amazing shir and all Daf app. He does the all Daf app. There is no excuse. Daf is Gishmak and Bes Chavrusa. Prior to the Daf, which was Sukkah, the answer to your question would be, if I'm delayed in the airport or on a plane, it would definitely be Netflix or in-flight entertainment. But now, Baruch Hashem, only the Daf. It's easy and there's no excuse. Baruch Hashem, thanks. And Daf on. Me and my son, Abe, flight home from LaGuardia to Montreal. Gewaldige stuff. Huh? Did I show it? I didn't show this picture? Maybe not. Oh, maybe I didn't. There you go. Eli Stefansky from Los Angeles participated in the beautiful Siyum from Moed Cotton. They showed in the video the other day. I took LA. I just spoke to Rabbi Ari Ben Shushan. He said he can't come to the Siyum. Very sad. He thought about it, and then he realized it's his sister. She's making a bar mitzvah. But he told me that he ran out of Gemaras. He said the first time he tried to sell the daf, 24 people raised their hand. This time, as soon as he said it, over 30 people raised their hand, and then there's like 40-something Gemaras, whatever. I took my son, Shkoyach Rabari. I love that guy. I hope we got to bring him in live one day. How you doing, Noam? Noam's back in the house. Took my son Ariel Toby to see true Ahavas HaTorah and Islavas BaTorah, and it inspired him to want to learn the Daf Chagigah with me. Thank you for all the chizik inspiration that you give over through the Daf. Thank you to Yoel Halpern and Yitzi Katz for organizing the beautiful Mishmar Siyum celebrations every week. They do a Mishmar every week, and that was the Siyum celebration that we saw. They sing Geshmak to learn the Daf like nobody else. I don't know how they do it, though. We have to learn from them. To Rabbi Shua Rose for the Geshmak music. Oh, that's how it is. Rabbi Shua Rose. LA is on fire, he writes. Kol Tuv, Yaakov Taubi. By the way, Ariel is 11 years old, 6th grade, and goes to Maimonides Academy here in Los Angeles. Oh, here's another one, a good one. Dear Belly, my name is Yossi Moses from Manchester. Just wanted to share a special moment. And my son Aaron, who did the Hadron in Manchester Siyum. He hopes you can mention him live. Okay, should we mention him live? Oh. He had him Mr. Daf since Megillah, and he had changed both mine and my son's life for the better. Until I started Megillah, I have never finished the Masechta, says the father. Until I started Megillah, I never finished the Masechta. When my father was nifter 8 years ago, he was up to his 49th year in Daf Yomi, and he would have been so proud of me and my son now doing the Daf. I've also attached a picture of him and his friends with the MDY socks. He rarely takes them off. Ah, what a teenager. Woo! Gewaldig. I could smell it till Ramat Bet Shemesh. All three of them. Gewaldig picture. I love it. Talking about smell, does anybody know what this is called? I want to see if what is this? What was this? Anybody? When did we show this? Why did we show this? Anybody? Somebody? No. Yeah, dog, and what? And therefore what? Nobody. What is it called? Who said? Oh, these guys on this row. I'm in comments. Very good. Okay, just testing. Wanted to see if I wasted my time embarrassing myself showing a picture like this live here. Hamid comments. It's a person that his job is to go after dogs and gather their stuff. Okay, fine. Just no, it's going to be in the sugya today. Just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. Rabbi Isai, this month's koilel, we have all these emails that were printed today. I thought I could get all of them. Oh, there's more. Okay, different time. Oh, wow. That's the first time in 4 years. Mr. Anonymous sponsoring the koilel. Lili Nishmas Chaya Bas Yosef. Maseches Chagigah, he didn't see his father in a week, so he went to say hello to him. Unbelievable. And I embarrassed him by Rabbim. Hashem, you moichel me? Yeah, okay, good. Another one is coming to say hello. Rabbi Isa, Yossi, woo, Yossi Fix. You want to come here to the front? Maseches Chagigah is dedicated to the Kessler and Davis families. Refuah shleima for Miriam Esther, Devora bekorov. Michael and Jayme Benmeleh, in memory of Devora, Faige, Shmuel, and Menachem Mendel, Elchanan. May the neshamas have an Aliyah. May Hashem bring Moshiach, the ultimate redemption to the world. Miriam Esther. Paras HaChodesh, as zechus for Shlomo, Benmeleh, and Refuah Bas Gila, they should be zechus. This is Zera Shel Kayama. The MDY Family sponsoring Eli Nishmas, Reb Shalom Baruch Yudah, Zechron Levrach Ben Rav Yosef Michal Shlita, Reb Yidi Leibowitz Z, Yitzi Katz, in honor of Chaim Katz's 30th birthday. By Shaye Jacobson, in honor of my Rebbeim, Reb Ephraim, Polikov, and Rabbi Avi Kar. Lizech, and Ishmas Reb Aaron ben Shmaya, Reb Aaron Lobel, Zechron Levrach, who Shloshim is today. He's a paragon of Torah and humility, and was a Baal Eitzah. He will be sorely missed from his nephew, Peretz Chaim Levin. All right, Rabbi Isai, we are holding all the way in the bottom of Daf Amud Beis, the last line. Now, I have a question. Think about this just for a millisecond. We say this every day. What does hara'aya mean? What? What does Riyah mean? Yeah, hakel. Hakel is every 7 years. 3 times a year. Okay. Maybe that's not the pshat. If you're going to learn new pshat today, no, it was worth it. Not awesome. Eilu dvarim she'elam shiur. We say it every single morning. Hapeya. There is no shiur, not on the lower end and not on the higher end. Peya is one of the matanos aniyim. We give different things to aniyim. Today we're used to giving 10% of our income to aniyim. If you have a field, you give leket, demai, and peya, shikha and peya. There's also leket, shikha, peya. There's also the meiser ani that we give on year 3 and 6. Different things that we give aniyim, very makbid for the aniyim. Peya is one corner. Peya means a corner. It could be one stalk. And it could be the reverse. You can give the entire field to the ani besides one stalk. V'habikurim. Habikurim is the shivas haminim, the first fruit that come out. You have to bring to Yerushalayim. You have to bring it up. Now, it doesn't say how much. You can bring one fruit. You can bring 1,000. V'harei ayayin. So it could either mean Aliyah l'regel. It could also mean what we're learning in the Mishnah, Oylas Re'iyah, the carbon, or it can mean both. Ugmilos chasadim. But even if it means both, not everybody's mechaven to that and knows what it is. Ugmilos chasadim, there's no shear for gmilos chesed. To do chasadim with your body, to do chesed by giving tzedakah. Gmilos chesed, there's no shear. The Talmud Torah. And there's no shear for Talmud Torah. I just figured, once we're here, I want to read to you some of the Rambams. I pulled out some of the interesting Rambams that I thought were interesting. Take 2 minutes. We'll go real quick. In Hilchos Talmud Torah, Perek Aleph. Kol ish miYisrael chai b'Talmud Torah ben ani ben ashir, ben shalom b'gufay, ben bal yisurim. Even if a person has tremendous yisurim, it doesn't matter how old he is, even an ani and fireness that goes from door to door, mechuyev in Talmud in Torah. How and when? B'yoyim u'b'layla. He must learn a little bit. So Elam Shir, even on the bottom, on the lower end, it's Kriya Shema, whatever it is, but by Yayim Ubalayla. You have to remember that. G'dayli Chacham Yisrael. I thought the Olam would like this and appreciate this. There were tremendous Chachamim. Mehein chaytvei eitzim umehem shoyavei mayim. Some of them chopped wood for a living, and some of them drew water for a living. A very, very hard work. And some of them were blind, he says. Umehem sumim. We had Rav Yosef, Sheshes, Avo Pikein, Oyoiskim b'Talmud Torah, Bayoim, Ubelayla, B'Mechlam, Atik Shmuel. Okay, Amud Beis. Kessler and Davis, Vayoiskim b'Melachto, Shoyis Bayoim, Torah Teisha. I thought this was great. If a person works for 3 hours and he learns for 9, so how do you divide the 9 hours? In other words, we don't even have the reverse today. Halavai, we should be working 9 hours and learning 3. I don't think we do that really. But he says, he's working for 3 hours and he's learning 9 hours. He's learning 9. Halavai should be the opposite. Talmud Torah is the greatest mitzvah of them all. Talmud Torah keneged kol mitzvahs kulon. Talmud maybe the ma'isa. Why? Because Torah brings the ma'isa. In other words, like now that we're learning harayon, we know what harayon is. It brings ma'isa. When you daven, your davening is better. Everything's better. Your mitzvahs are better. If you have 2 things, a mitzvah and Talmud Torah, which one comes first? Depends. We just learned it last Masechta. If somebody else could do the other mitzvah, let him do it. Fine. Now listen to this. Let me make a parnasa first. I'll learn Torah later on in my life. I'll buy a house, I'll buy a car, and then I'll come learn. If you think about that, like that, you're not going to be zechus la'olam. You'll never be learning. Make sure your Torah is the ikr. Your working has to be temporary, and your Torah has to be permanent. Why? You never know. You might not make it to that year where you think you're going to be learning Torah. This is just for the olam, the balabatim. The Koil guys don't like this halacha that much. If you don't work, and it causes sin. He's going to come to steal from people if he doesn't have a job. This is the last one, Rabbi Isai. Just running through different halachas. Halacha Yid Aleph. It's a tremendous mila to make a parnasa. And that's how the Chasidim did it. He's going to be zechus to everything. Zog the Gemara. Omer Rabbi Yochanan. We thought, now Harayoyin right now does not mean coming to the Beis HaMikdash. Harayoyin means now bringing a Oylas Re'iyah. We thought there's no limit. You can bring 1,000 animals if you want. Obviously, Shir Lamata. But you must bring it with a certain amount of money, like we learned in the Mishnah according to Beis Hillel. How much? 1 ma'ah. In other words, it's a deraisa, and you must spend a ma'ah. And he taught us. It could be worth less than 1 ma'ah. You can bring 1,000 korbanos. But we pass in like Beis Hillel that the Oylas Riyah should cost you at least 1 ma'ah kesef, and a chagigah, which is about 75 cents, and a chagigah shtei kesef, $1.25. My herayoyin. It's an interesting lashon. Why does the Gemara, the Mishnah use the Mishnah Peah? It should say v're'iyah. If we're talking about a carbon re'iyah, oylas re'iyah, so it should say re'iyah. What's herayoyin? Like a plural lashon. Herayoyin also means you shall be seen, to be seen. Says the Gemara according to Rabbi Yochanan that you come to the Beis HaMikdash without a carbon. When you do many, you don't bring a carbon for every time that you come. Every single time they show up, you're in Yerushalayim. You want to come as much as you can during Yontif. Every time you show up to the Beis HaMikdash, bring a sheep with you. It's an expensive visit. Every single time, another $500. Rabbi says no. As long as you brought your carbon oiless riyah 1 time, that's enough. Says the Gemara, Bikra Regel, according to Rashi, the first day of Yontif. Everybody agrees that you must bring a carbon every time that you come. Kipligi, B'shaya Moisa Regel. Machlekes is the rest of the Yontif. Kol Eicha, the Asa of Aisi. Now, if you came, if he brought the carbon now, according to the Gemara now, if he brought the carbon, Avi, maybe you can find some room for these guys here. There's a seat over here. They're standing there by the back door. Here, come. Somebody come in here. There's one seat here. 2 seats. We'll make you 2 seats. Any seats over here? No. Come in. Avi Gargir, here. That's your job. Get these guys in here. Oh, that's right. Okay. Shkoyach. He shows up to the Beis Hamikdash and brings a carbon with him. You could take the carbon. What's the Chiddush Rabbi say? Why shouldn't I be able to take the carbon from him? Baal Taisif. There's no Baal Taisif, says the Gemara. He pligi, so where's the machlokes? That he came without a carbon, he came empty-handed. No, you don't. It's not connected. I want to come to the Beis Hamikdash. I'm not mechuyev to bring a carbon every time. When you come on Yontif, don't come empty-handed. Every single time you show up to the Beis Hamikdash, you go to the Kessel, so to speak, for Mincha, bring another Ma'ariv, another one, every single time. But what about the pasuk? Don't come empty-handed. As a side, because I have nothing else. There's a guy that his friend was coming from America. You're not used to it now. It's okay. Guy's coming from America. So his friend says, listen, when you show up here by the front gate, you come from the front gate, there's a bell, so that you punch the numbers in with your elbow. Okay? And then you get in, buzz you in, fine, you get in, the elevator with your shoulder. Then when you come out of the elevator, you have to go like this with your back. He gets there. My eye. I don't understand. Like, why can't I just go like this? He says, no, I was sure they're going to come with something. I didn't think you're going to come empty-handed. Also, kommt man. So, yeah, you don't come to Rebbeinu Shalom empty-handed. When you come to visit, you bring something with you. Over here in MDY, when you come to visit, you bring a friend. That's what you bring. You bring a friend. Don't bring wine. Whatever. Merch or new merch that I've never seen before, or a friend. Eli, I got 2 guys to join this year. That's Olam Haba. Omar Lei, you did both. That's right. And Hillel Boyer from yesterday brought 35 guys. I don't know if you reached that Madrega yet. Close. 15, 20 guys. Wow. Mo Landy, 15, 20 guys. Kol hakavod. Kids, it's just a few guys that are bringing all these guys. The rest are shlofen. What do you say? Yeah. The 2 of you together is 35. Yeah, oh, very good. Amalei. So we have a problem here. It says, Rish Lakish has a pasuk. Obviously, Rabbi Yochanan knew about this pasuk. You can't come empty-handed. Every single time it seems like, no, Amalei, Bika Regel, that pasuk is referring to the first day of Yontif, don't come empty-handed. Eisvei. So now we're going to take it from a different angle a little bit. You don't come empty-handed. Bizvachim. Zvachim means animals, because the word zvachim also means to be zeveach, to shecht. You shecht an animal. So I want you to come with animals. We're going to explain how. How do you know it means a cow? You could also shech a bird or mincha, maybe bring something. These are gifts that we give HaKadosh Baruch Hu the Beis Hamikdash. We take some flour, mix it with oil. How do I know it has to be a sheep, a cow? Maybe it could be a bird. Vidinu. Nemro Chagigah lehedyot, v'nemro re'iyah legavoya. It says that you should bring a Chagigah for yourself. It also says, where does it say here? Oh, this pasuk, we just said it 10 times, but why not? You see from this pasuk, V'lo yiro fanai reikam. Bring something for me, says Hashem. So you have to bring something for Hashem. Ma Chagigah amur lehedyot zvachim. When you bring a Chagigah, so let's go back to this chart. We're going to use it a little bit today. You're bringing a oilas riyah. We just said that's v'lo yiro fanai reikam in red. Red and red. This is Vakadosh Baruch Hu. Stam. It just happened to be. This is referring to the first one. Oilas riyah. You have to bring something for Hashem. You also bring Shama Chagigah. That's for yourself. It's shlamim. Shlamim you could eat yourself. So ma Chagigah amur lehedid zvachim. Afriyah amur legavay zvachim. This right over here is an animal. So too, up here, it's not flour. You're not going to get away with bringing some flour and oil to Hashem. It has to be a real, it has to be a carbon, it has to be an animal. Umayin zvachim, oilois. And therefore, the zevach is a oila. Now, how do you know it's a oila? Maybe it's a shlamim. Who told you that it's a oila? Atom oila, it's a shlamim. V'dinu. It makes sense. Nemra chagigah lehedyot. V'nemra re'iyah legavaya. Ma chagigah amur lehedyot b'ro'ilai. The chagigah that's for an individual, he could eat from it. Afri amur legavaya b'ro'ilai. So too, the carbon that you bring Hashem is for Hashem only, for no one else. V'chein bedin. And there's another thing. Shelo yiyeh shulchancha malei v'shulchan rabcha reikam. So, just the pashup pshat, it doesn't make sense that you're eating from it and you get the entire thing, and Hashem doesn't get the whole thing. So whatever you do for yourself, do for Hashem. There's an interesting halacha that the Rambam says that if you make a sudas mitzvah, you make a wedding or something, and you don't give money to the poor, so he says that it's as if you did it for your stomach. You're not doing it. It's not a sudas mitzvah anymore. That's why there's a lot of people, I know people in Chicago, that when they do a wedding, they give the same exact amount that the wedding here, they give for weddings in Eretz Yisrael, something like that. It's a beautiful minute. Because of this Rambam, I think. But what's the bottom line? The Gemara's question is that every single time that you come, if you're eating, it doesn't make sense that your Rebbe's shulchan should be empty. You're coming there, the Rebbe's shulchan. So it seems like Rish Lakish, not like Rabbi Yochanan. Says Gemara, Amalei, bigger regel. No, this idea of shulchan chamalei v'shulchan rab chareikam, that you must give, you have to feed, so to speak, haviyachal, the Rebbeinu Shalom, that's only on the first day. Eisvei, says the Gemara, Eisvei. Eisvei, Rabbi Yossi reviewed the Rabbi Yossi reviewed the Omer, Shalish regalim b'shana, and Stavi Yisrael, Lalis Beregel. We have to go up to Beis Hamikdash 3 times a year. B'chag HaMatzos, b'chag HaShavuos, b'chag HaSukkos. Ve'nirin chatzayin. Unbelievable halacha. You can't go up half and half. You can't have different groups. The Gemara later is going to explain. But the idea, I think, maybe we could take out an idea from this, the concept of the vachtos. We're not doing groups. Chasidim go the first day, and then the Litvaks go on the second day. Different groups. No, we're all one. We're Klal Yisrael, we're one, and we go together. And if we don't go together, it's a big problem. Big problem of achtos. Mishum shenemar kol zechurcha. All the males. Ve'ein nirin rekonim. And don't come empty-handed. Who does that sound like? Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish says that no matter when you come, bring a carbon with you. Shenemar v'lo yiro panei reikam. Amalei. Same answer as we said before. Bigger regel. That's not referring to every day. It's talking about the first day. Okay, so this is Rish Lakish trying to prove himself to Rabbi Yochanan, and now it's Rabbi Yochanan's turn. Eis Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. And we had this before. Yira, Yira. However way you want to call it, it says Yud Reish Aleph Hey. And we read it Yira, but it's Yira. It's really Yira. Mani bechinam. Just like I can see you, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, for free. I don't have to bring something to you. I see you as is. I'm not bringing you a carbon. Afatem bechinam. So too, you Klal Yisrael, when you come to me, you come empty-handed most of the time besides that first day. So you see from here, it's a Bam Kasha. You see from here that you don't have to bring a carbon every time you see HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Says the Gemara, Ella, Kol Heicha, the Asa v'lei Aisi, the Kuli Amaloi Pligi, the Ayel, Umischazi v'nafek. So now it's interesting. If you see there's a little dalet here, and the little dalet says to look in Taisus and Moab Basra. So I looked over there, and Taisus and Moab Basra says that this is one of 4 or 5 times maybe in Shas that the Gemara takes it completely back. The Gemara, this is not Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish talking here. The Gemara says we didn't understand this whole discourse back and forth. Ace for Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish wasn't Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish. It's us asking a question as if we are Rish Lakish asking Rabbi Yochanan. And Rabbi Yochanan would answer like this, he would answer like that, he would deflect it this way, deflect it that way. And now Rabbi Yochanan is going to ask a question to Rish Lakish. He got him so good that we didn't understand the question, B'chlal. We didn't understand the shita. We didn't understand the machlokes. Now we have to go back to square one, to step one. What was the machlokes between Rabbi Yochanan and Rish Lakish? Oh, now we have another understanding in the machlokes. Not that they are saying, oh, let's argue on something else. That makes 0 sense. If they had an argument and then, oh, you're right, okay, let's argue on something else. Ella means you didn't understand what the machlokes was, and therefore all these questions that you ask are not applicable, besides the last one. We have to say that the machlokes is like this. Ella kalecha da'asa v'le'yaisi. If a person shows up to Beis HaMikdash and he doesn't bring a carbon, the kuli amalei pligi, the ayilum is chazi v'nafik. He goes in, walks out, he's potter. Ki pligi da'asa v'yaisi. A completely different machlokes. It's very similar but different. Is a person over on Bal Taisef or not? Rabbi Yochanan knows it's Bal Taisef. You cannot. If you want to be a tzaddik and bring 2 korbanos, we say go home. Only one. That's it. Anything above and beyond that, you have a chiyuv of 1 oilas riyah. You bring 1 oilas riyah. You don't bring 2. If you bring 2, it's like you put a 5th parsha in your tefillin. It's extra. You can't do extras. Rabbi Yochanan Omar. Riyas ponim ba'azara. Riyas ponim hu de'ein lo shiur. Holy korban yesh lo shiur. You're not allowed to bring another korban. There's a shiur, and if you go above the shiur, what is that called? Bal Taisef. And what if you decide to bring that extra korban? Says the Chazon Ish that it's not chal. It's 0. It's not that you're bringing a oilas nedava. Since you had in mind to bring a oilas re'iyah, your chiyuv on yantiv, and you don't have a chiyuv, your chiyuv is only 1, and you thought your chiyuv is 2, and you brought, so it's nothing. Nothing happened to that animal. Take it and shecht it, eat it as you want. It's not even chal, he says. Rish Lakish Omar, re'iyas panim bekorban. Afilu korban nami en leishiur. Says Rish Lakish, not true. You could bring as many korbanos as you want, and every korban that you bring, adarabba, you get a bigger mitzvah, another mitzvah, another mitzvah. Why not? Yeah. Well, let me think a second. You're asking if it's dafke on ikir haregel. When does a chiyuv of oilas riyah? No, but your chiyuv could also be on the second day. If you bring a oilas riyah on the second day, you're yaitza, right? Yeah. So who says? So you're saying dafka in the first day? I don't think that's true. When your first one, when you're mechuyev, but on the second day of Yom, if you want to bring another one, you thought you have to bring another one. Also, the same idea. Eisvei, hoikar raglecha mibeis riyecha. So it says in the pasuk that be careful. Don't come to your friend's house too often. Who's your friend? Kadosh Baruch Hu. So the other day I was talking to Mo Landy, sitting right next to me. Shkoyach for coming. He told me an incredible thing. He said that Ramosha Weinberg, Ramosha Weinberger from the 5 towns. Yeah. Ramosha Weinberger, he said in one of his shiurim that they caught a bacher listening to Christianity. Listening to some of these, what are they called? Yeah, whatever. So they asked him, what's pshat? He said because his entire life, he never heard the words, Hashem loves you. Never heard it. It happens to be that just yesterday my wife came home, she said, oh, it's so cute. Our Anikel, he runs around the whole day saying, Hashem loves me, Hashem loves me. So you see, there's some people are makpid. She said, who taught you? My son-in-law? No, my daughter taught it to him. Unbelievable. I don't know where she got it from. I don't think it was a big, From her husband. She got it from her husband. Very good, very good. Kid's a genius, he knows how to read already, he speaks 4 languages, and he says, Hashem loves you. So, Rabbi say, if you haven't heard it yet, I'm telling you right now, Hashem loves you. Now look in Rashi, unbelievable Rashi. At the end of the day, what does Hashem want? Hashem wants to be your friend. It's unbelievable. He wants to be your friend. You need to talk to him like you're a friend. V'chulu, v'chulu. Look at Rashi. Mibeis reyecha. Mibeis oyehavcha. From the house of the one that loves you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shekara Yisrael reim. Shenemar. Leman achai v'reyai. Rabbi say, listen. We're going to sing it. But this time, we're going to sing it differently. You're going to think to yourself that Hashem loves us. Leman achai v'reyai. Leman achai v'reyai. He's our brother, our friend. No hadav abrono shalom bo leman achai v'reyai leman achai v'reyai dabrono Unreal. Hashem loves us. Hashem is our friend. He wants to be our friend. That's all he wants. Talk to him. You can talk to him like your friend. You don't want to ruin the friendship. You come so often, but look, we're going to see in a second what it means. That's the Gemara's question. You don't want to spoil a friendship by coming every single day. I'm here again. Play it smart. Says the Gemara. What? Exactly. Yeah. All right. So, how do you tell me that the carbon ain't shir? You can bring as many as you want and keep on coming, keep on bringing karbanos. Be careful with it. Says the Gemara also. The idea is, don't sin that you have to bring a carbon. Even b'shayge, be careful of your shgagas. Levi had a contradiction. Our question, it says, don't come so often. I'll come all the time with Elchanan. Like Asya. Don't sin by mistake. He's just repeating the same thing. Now we learned ve'ein nirin chatzoin. Don't come to the Beis Hamikdash half Klal Yisrael this way, that way. Maybe the pshat is if a person has 10 children, Don't leave half at home and bring half. We just turned by sponsored Daf Yomi Beis by Moshe Horn in honor of Avi, Woody, Chewy, and the Kale twins. And I think this is the last day. Whew. Not for him, for this one. Sponsored in honor of Eli, wishing him Hatzlacha and all that in all his endeavors, both in Gashmis and Ruchnias. Thank you. Zog the Gemara. Of course. Not going to the Beis Hamikdash is a pshia. It's a terrible thing. You're supposed to go see B'yoyle Regel. We're going to stay home. For what reason? Reason. Who goes bizrizos and who's going to stay behind? Ba'atzlos. Ela krala mayasa. So then what does the pasuk say? You can't go to Chatzayim. Look at the acherim. Oh, here. Where's that picture? Now we have to pull out the picture. Here we go. Oh, what is this called? Acherim oimrim hamikametz. He digs for copper. Vabursi, and he's a tanner. He works with hides. Terrible smelling occupation. Pturim and Ariyah. They don't come up to the Beis Hamikdash Shenemar. Kol zechurcha. You have to be one of it. You can't stick out. You can't smell bad. Listen to this. If you decide the next day to make a whole convention for Mekametzniks, all the comics guys in Eretz Yisrael, and all the Bursikis, they'll get together. We all smell bad. Let's do a special trip to Beis Hamikdash. No go. It's not a Kol Zechurcha. Kol Zechurcha, all of Klal Yisrael. You guys don't even show up. Stay home. The official Mishnah sponsored Latzlocha Gashmi from Menachem ben Tamar. Oylois Bamoid Bois Menachulin. Very, very interesting. So, if a person has produce, he gives 2% to the Kohen. He gives 10% to the Levi. Then he gives 10% to himself. It's called Meiser Sheni. Takes 10%. And he brings it to Yerushalayim, the fruit, and he eats it in Yerushalayim. What if it weighs a tremendous amount? He's a farmer. He has $10 million worth of fruit, and $1 million goes to himself. He has $1 million of oranges, of, let's call it grapes. $1 million. What is he going to do? Transfers it to cash. Now the cash has a little bit of kedusha in it. He brings the cash to Yerushalayim. What can he do with the cash? So it says in the pasuk, yeah. No. This is all you can do. You can't give it to a shul. Anything that your heart desires, but it has to be food. Wine and beer, all the good stuff. Eat nice steaks. This is the positive. People came with enormous amount of cash. They didn't know what to do with it. Just buying. Now, could you take that cash and buy a carbon? It's food, no? Depends what carbon. We have the 3 karbanos. He has to bring an oila and 2 shlamim. So what could he do? So we'll see. This, no, it's red. Not allowed to. That's for Hashem. Shalmi simcha, to fill your stomach up, it's 100% for you. That's allowed. This one, we're going to see. Says the Mishnah, if it's, you're bringing chalamayid, the Gemara is going to talk chalamayid, it's not really chalamayid. You must use your own cash and not Meiser Sheni cash. Vashlamim. Now, this is Shalmei Chagigah, this one. Sorry, this guy, Shalmi Simcha, right over here, Vashlamim Min HaMeiser. That you could buy. That's food like any other steak. You buy it from Meiser Sheni money. Yontav Rishon Shel Pesach. Very confusing lashon in this Mishnah from beginning to end. Yontav Rishon Shel Pesach is not talking about Pesach. It's talking about the middle one. Shalmei Chagigah. Could be Sukkot also. We stuck in the word Pesach to throw you off a little bit. Beishamei Oimrim and Achulin. Beishamei say this is like an oila. You have to use your own cash. Ubeisil Oimrim Min HaMeiser. It could also be from Meiser. But wait a minute, it's a chiyuv. Now, here, I forgot to show you this. We're going to see it in the Gemara anyway, but there's a concept. Kol davar shebachayva. If you're mechuyev to bring it, einay ba ela min achulin. You cannot use Meiser Sheni money. You can only use your own private money. Question on Beis Hillel. How does Beis Hillel say that you could purchase the blue guy with Meiser Sheni money? It's a chayva. You must bring a Shalmi Chagigah. It's not like a Shalmi Simcha that if you're hungry and this and that, you don't have enough meat and your friend is not giving you. It's Davar Sheba Chayva and Bamachul. Tremendous idea the Gemara is going to tell us that you're allowed to be mitzaref. Let's say you buy an animal, you want to add to it, so then you could add with Meiser Sheni money, the extra part. You have $500 for Meiser Sheni money. You know what's amazing? That today is Purim Katan, Yerushalayim, right? And that halacha is brought down in Magen Avram about Purim. That when you give Matanas Levyonim, do not give from your Meiser money, give from your own money. It has to be chulin money. But obviously, if you want to give more, so you have to make sure that shawarma, whatever the halacha, what is it? A falafel, shawarma, whatever that, the shear, pruta up to a falafel, a shawarma. But then above, you want to give $200, so that extra $100 you can give from your Meiser money. It's so beautiful, Shilas here. Mamish Negel to that halacha. A woman promised that she made a nether. She's going to go daven on the Kvarim, Tzvat. Shilah back in the day in Europe. And she pushed it off, and finally she had to go to Tzvat for a wedding. Could she go to the Kvarim when she's there? A Shilah, because she made a nether, she's going to go, and now she's using a chulin for her nether. Interesting stuff. Anyways, just keep that in mind. Says the Gemara, Mishnah. Finally, I get to use this. Somebody gave it to me back then, and I don't know where I saved it, Yosef. I hope I can find it. I looked for it, I couldn't find it. I just had it printed, Baruch Hashem. What's the difference between a neder and a nedava? This is a picture of my son, Lazi, who's now 15, does the daf every day in the biblical zoo here in Yerushalayim, getting the beer up on 2 feet. So that's how you remember it. Nedava, where do you find the dove? A dove? In the nedava, dove, in a zoo. So when a person says Hare Zoo, no, it's a way to remember it. Hare Zoo. When you point, you say Hare Zoo. Then, if this beer dies, you can't bring it as a carbon. Okay, you can't bring a beer as a carbon. If you can bring a beer as a carbon, since you said zoo, no. But if you say Hare Olai, how do you remember? I'm asking you, Noam, how do you remember the difference between a neder and a nedava? Your whole life you go around. Is it the one that's zoo or not zoo? Now you know dove is zoo. Now you like it better? No, but you made fun of shtickle about it. Then you chab while I was doing it. No, seriously. Neder and nedava. I don't have that memory. I can't remember. I keep on getting mixed up. I had enough from this. Hare zoo. Fine. So a neder and a nedava, if a guy says, I'm going to bring a carbon, it doesn't matter. A sheep for no reason. Stam, I want to give something to the Rebbeinu Shalom back. Now, ubemaiser behema. And every 10 animals you have to bring up, but you eat it yourself. And a kohen. When a Yisrael brings a carbon, he gets part of it to eat himself. And he gets the firstborn, all from all shlamim. He gets a little bit to eat. Then he can use that for his shalmi simcha. Avaloi ba'ivais, v'loi b'menachais. Fine. Says the Gemara. Ella, oilas b'moed the boys menachulin habiyantav min ha'maiser. Wow, we're gonna have to do this whole sugya now in 1 minute. It says in the beginning of the Mishnah on Chalamayid. What do you mean on Chalamayid? You cannot use Meiser Sheni money for any oila. Nothing to do with Chalamayid. Never. Even on the regular Yantiv. On the first day of Yantiv. Yantiv min Meiser. Amai davar shebachayvehi v'chol davar shebachayvehi nebal min achulin. You have to use your own private money. V'chi teima kamash malon. The oil is b'moed boys. B'yantiv einem boys. Maybe that exactly is what the Mishnah is trying to tell us. Do not bring a carbon on Yantiv. It's not necessary for Yantiv. What are you allowed to do on Yantiv? Eichel nefesh, food for yourself. Stam to bring a carbon to Hashem. There's no reason. There's no heter to start checking animals. They go on the mizbech maybe. Kiman bishamai. That's bishamai. And what's the problem? Can't be that our Mishnah goes according to bishamai. It's not bishamai oimrim mevim shlomim vein soimchem aleim. You could bring a carbon chagigah. Why on Yantiv? Why? Because you're eating from it. So it's eichel nefesh. But don't lean on it. Smicha is this thing. You don't lean on an animal on Yantiv because you're using an animal. And you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to use the animal. Ava loy oilos. Do not, says Bishamai, bring a oila on Yantiv because you're not going to eat from it. Even even the one that you're mechuyev to bring today. You could lean on it, and you could bring a oila. So then the question is, why does the Mishnah say Chala Mayed? Even on the first day of Yantiv, says the Gemara. Bottom line is, I just want to show you real quickly what's going on here. It's very, very simple. There's 3 types of korbanos. Not necessarily only this, but this I figured I'll just do the oila one, and we can figure everything out from there. There's an oila that you must bring every single day of the year, and that's called oilas tamid. There's no machlokes that you bring that on Yantiv. Shabbos, Yantiv, every day of the year. There's the oilas nedava. I feel like giving a Kadosh Baruch Hu oila. There's no machlokes. It's red. Do not bring it on a Yantiv. The whole machlokes is the middle one. Oilas riyah. It's not an everyday thing. It's better for me to bring it on the first day of Yantiv, but if I don't, they can bring it on the second day of Yantiv. Says Beis Hillel, bring it on Yantiv. It's not a problem. Bishami say, no, it's not oichel nefesh. Don't bring it on Yantiv. Oilas tamid I have to bring. I have no way out of it. But this one, bring it on the second day Yantiv. What's the problem? So let's see inside. So oilas nidarim v'nedavais. When it's this guy on the bottom, Amud Beis, you only bring on a chalam bayid b'yantiv, and in Beis you never bring it on Yantiv. Oilas riyah ba'afilu b'yantiv. According to Beis Hillel, you can bring the oilah riyah even on Yantiv. Ukshi ba. And when you do bring it in a ba'alam and a chulin, don't use Maseches Chagigah money for it. This is all you have to fit into the words of the Mishnah. V'shalmi simcha, ba'im af min ha-meiser, and shalmi simcha, that's really food, that comes from meiser money, and it's not a chiyuv, if you can use other people's korbanos, etc. V'chagigas yantav harishon shel Pesach, b'shamay oimrim, min ha-chulin, u'beis Hillel oimrim, min ha-meiser. Okay, that's simple, that is no addition here, l'chayra. Yantav rishon shel Pesach, the Chagigah, b'shamay oimrim, min ha-chulin, we'll see in the Gemara, maybe, yeah, beis Hillel oimrim, min ha-meiser. Tanya Namiachi. Now this is a freebie, and it's word for word we just learned. You don't bring it on Yantiv. Vaylas Riyah, ba afilu b'yantiv. According to Beis Hillel, since it's a chiyuv to bring a oila Riyah, then you do bring it on Yantiv. A oila Nedava, you never bring on Yantiv, even according to Beis Hillel. Ukshi ba, and when you do bring it, and a ba elam and achulin has to be your own private money. Can't be Maseches Chagigah money. B'shami simcha, and the one that has to do with just eating food, ba'im af min ha-meiser. Since it's not a chiyuv. It's your enjoyment. Bring it from Maseches Chagigah money. It's like a steak. Okay, we'll stop right here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.